number 3, we have the manliest school ever, Sakigake Otokujuku. Again, like many series on this list, I would prefer having an anime reboot instead of the licensed manga, but I'll take whatever I can get my hands on. In this case being Otokujuku, a battle shonen that started off as a gag manga, but then became the outrageous tournament-themed martial arts battle manga. Being heavily influenced by Fist of the North Star, Otokujuku bears many similar functions and is part of the big 3 of manliness. Like Hokuto no Ken, Otokujuku also excels in art, but unlike Fist, which possesses a scale of legend, Miyashita's art doesn't excel as much, but it's still very good. Originally, his artwork wasn't as well defined as his later chapters, since many characters look very rough in comparison to their future illustrations, but let's not forget, even Fist of the North Star made improvements as the series continued. After a certain point, many of the main characters start to develop these noble facial features, making it almost on par with Hokuto no Ken. But enough about the art and onto the story. The series heavily boasts about refining your manhood with discipline, knowledge, and lots of testosterone. I guess Otokujuku can be described as the tournament version of Fist of the North Star, as both series share manly tears, manly fights, and manly deaths. However, Otokujuku is sort of like Kinnikuman in some cases. The one flaw, if any, in Otokujuku will be the bullshit of characters coming back to life, only to die again and would sometimes come back or not. Regardless of some inconsistencies, Otokujuku excels in action, ridiculous fighting styles, and definitely manliness. But wait, there's more! Otokujuku actually has several sequels, being Akatsuki Otokujuku, starring the next generation kids, a prequel starring the youth of the principal of Otokujuku, Edajima Heihachi, a third story called Goku Otokujuku, where Otokujuku has a crossover with the author's other work, Ultimate Private High, and they battle aliens. Yes, aliens. And last of all is the 4th installment to the Otokujuku storyline, featuring an all-girl cast, Onajuku. More information on these and various others can be found in the Otokujuku wiki. Given its many related manga, I really wish the series got licensed, especially when it has the very best tournament arc ever.
Watch out! Hokuto! Hyakuretsuken!
Number 2 is Fist of the North Star, the manliest and tragic battle shonen of the 1980s. I'm sure this is a surprise to my viewers as they were expecting this to be number 1. My number 1 pick just has a bit more to offer in manga form. Hokuto no Ken, or Fist of the North Star, is about a man named Kenshiro, who wields the most powerful assassin art known as the Fist of the North Star, which can kill anyone by making them explode into a bloody mess. The series takes place in the year 1990X after a nuclear fallout caused by World War III, which brought forth many martial artists to take what they want and rule as kings. Kenshiro is the savior of this world and is destined to clash with his brother, the King of Fist. This is a series I already reviewed, so if you want more details of the story and its art, you could just watch that video. To those who already seen that review or the other related videos, you already have an idea why I like this series, but I also want to emphasize how underrated it is. Earlier I mentioned the big 3 of manliness being Otokujuku, Fist of the North Star, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. These 3 manga have many similarities, but they also share plenty of differences due to the author's preferences in writing and drawing. Regardless, they're similar enough to form this manly trio. Recently, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure has made it to the United States in both anime and manga form. The manga releases for JoJo had received a spectacular treatment through Japan's JoJo Neon version, which are basically omnibuses with some of the original Shonen Jump issue color pages. Around the same time as the JoJo Neon release in Japan, Fist of the North Star also celebrated its anniversary through the manga's reprinting with the Ultimate Edition, aka Extreme Edition, which contains 2 volumes in one and some color pages. If JoJo can receive this treatment, I don't see why Fist of the North Star can't receive the same. Especially when back in the 2000s, we had these volumes called the Master Edition, which were briefly sold in the English language. Look at the size of these things. And inside are digital colored pages, which looks really good. I personally don't like digital colored comics that much, but whoever colored these knew exactly what he was doing. I approve of these DG colored manga, and it's sad to say that these versions are out of print. Furthermore, there's a prequel titled Fist of the Blue Sky starring Kenshiro's uncle Kazumi Kenshiro, and surprisingly, a few volumes of the manga were also released in English by Raijin Comics, the same people who brought out the Master Edition. Most of the story is set in China, where Kazumi cleans up the town of criminal organizations. Eventually, The story goes into duels with other Hokuto Shinken users, and Kazumi faces Lu Zhong-woo, aka Nazi Rao. And it goes without saying that the story is manly and the artwork just got manlier. Fist of the North Star and Fist of the Blue Sky are two series that really deserve to be licensed. Plus, they're both are worthy for anime reboots. If JoJo could do it, I'm sure Fist of the North Star can do the same. Hokuto no Ken is an incredible series with its theme of man vs destiny, paving the way for all subsequent manly series. There's no other battle shonen that I experienced that the characters are so well written, and for deaths to be tragically permanent, etching its pain into the souls of heroic and villainous men. My number one most desired manga for this wishlist is a series I recently experienced in 2014 and made its way into my top 3 list of favorite anime and manga. And surprisingly, this series comes before the big 3 of manliness. It's a very long battle shonen that would completely wreck the anime community with the power of manly friendship. A manga which possesses plenty of superheroes and devil-themed supervillains who all fight in the wrestling ring. This series is Kinnikuman, and its sequel, Ultimate Muscle.
Go! Muscle! Kinnikuman.
You may be familiar with the Ultimate Muscle anime that aired on the Fox Box, but that was just the tip of the iceberg. The original Kinnikuman began in 1979, and it's still running to this day. Not only is Kinnikuman a shonen series, but it is a superhero manga combined with the sports genre being wrestling. With this fascinating combination, we have a series greatly emphasizing heroism for decades. Unlike the other Shonen Jump series, Kinnikuman is really underrated in most countries. Japan obviously has great respect for this series, to the point where it has the holiday every Friday 29th called Kinnikuman Day. Furthermore, it is so surprising how influential Kinnikuman is with other shonen series, including Naruto, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and especially One Piece and Toriko. Actually, Kinnikuman could be considered the Dragon Ball of its time, because it is a giant in the shonen demographic. This is a series I already reviewed in great detail, so the rest of this video would just be me explaining why it deserves to be licensed. In summary, Kinnikuman consists of superheroes called Chojins, or Supermen, who all represent a different country and usually partake in tournaments which allow for conflict against the very devilish villains, known as the Devil Chojin, or the Devil Superman. The series originally began as a superhero parody of Ultraman, and gradually became battle-heavy with wrestling matches, but that only added to the quality. Kinnikuman's greatest strength are the characters, and is one of the few battle manga that manages to hold over 8 main characters and treat them with great respect. In short, everyone gets their share of the spotlight. Granted, the artwork debuts really goofy, but with the passage of time, allow for the artist to reach a grander vision. What makes Kinnikuman so great are the passionate heroes and following the virtues of friendship. I know it sounds silly for heroes and villains to fight in a ring. On a first impression, it may seem that they're fighting just for the sake of fighting. But no, there's a legit story going on. Sure, the structure is very simple, but this is a character-driven story. My favorite arc is the Dream Tag arc because it showed how vital friendship can be, but it also displayed how fragile it is. So much blood is shed and many heroes die. You can feel their rage and loss, especially in the 1983 anime adaptation, due to its atmosphere and music. The Muscle League honestly consists of the greatest heroes in anime and manga. Despite being such a large roster, it manages to be well balanced and allow for people to pick their favorite hero, especially how it's been running for over 30 years. It's really diverse with its content, superpowers, and especially its character designs, which leads to its many sequels. Ultimate Muscle, or Kinnikuman Issei, stars the next generation of heroes, and this part actually got released by Viz Media. But like everything in this list, Ultimate Muscle is an out-of-print title. Furthermore, Kinnikuman has 2 more sequels, being the Nisei Tag and the current Kinnikuman 2011. So, if you add up everything Kinnikuman, you have over 100 volumes of content, and most of it is not even translated. I am torn to know that there is more Kinnikuman out there that I can't read. As I said earlier, Kinnikuman easily became in my top 3 anime and manga, and I personally think it's top 10 shonen material. Being unable to know what happens next in Kinnikuman is really frustrating. Thankfully, there's a Kinnikuman wiki, and out of nowhere, some chapters manage to be translated, but obviously the pace is gonna be really slow until we get the full story. For the sake of trying to express to you how I feel, here's an example. Remember a few years ago when all that existed for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure was Part 3 material? Now imagine being a fan with the knowledge of the existence of JoJo being 8 parts long. And for the sake of an example, imagine that only Part 3 was translated, and there was nothing anywhere for the other 7 parts of JoJo. That's how I feel with Kinnikuman. The story is so far 4 parts long, and I experienced half of it, and I feel it would be a profitable business for someone to license this manga. And I have proof. Back in 2004, Ultimate Muscle was only 51 episodes, and like most shonen series, it did not finish its manga and concluded with a filler arc. When Ultimate Muscle aired in America, it got so popular that 4Kids themselves paid out of their own pockets to fund 26 new episodes, which Toei Animation accepted, and voila, the anime continued. Plus, these episodes aired in America first before it aired in Japan. If the anime had that much power, imagine what a licensed manga could do. Perhaps they may even persuade some animation studio to reboot Kinnikuman. I mean, look at Dragon Ball Super. How many years did it take for someone to get new Dragon Ball material when in Kinnikuman, it did it in less than a year? So to conclude this video, I hope you enjoyed this list of manga, as they were my personal choices, but I guarantee that these titles will sell and heavily deserve greater recognition in the anime community. Before I bid farewell, I ask, what manga do you wish were licensed? I'm the manly anime hero and I review manga so you can read it.